you know everything, or you say you can't feel a single thing. Say you didn't feel it when you kissed me. Why you got red?
Welcome back to my channel. Sorry for the drums in the background. My sister's practicing right now, but if you're new here, my name's Angel Baby Kyra. Make sure you like and subscribe. Go follow me on Instagram and TikTok so y'all can finish harassing me. But today's video, as you have seen by the title, is about Melanie Martinez, and I want to preface this, even though people are still not going to listen to what I'm going to be saying, but I'm going to do it anyway for the few of you that are actually listening, that the reason why I've been talking about Melanie Martinez recently, well, before I made videos about how her fandom is really toxic, you guys can watch those. That's when I was first starting out with everything. But now it's been brought to my attention about a lot of other things and things that I've just been pushing down over the years as a Melanie Martinez fan, and just things that I just kind of overlooked and just blindly just went with. But today we're going to be talking about the lesser stuff. The next video will be about Timothy Heller, and before y'all roll your eyes and say that it's dragging it on and that it's drama, I need to remind you, and I don't know why I have to remind you, that SA is not drama. I'm gonna go over it with the things that have been presented with me. The situation first came out, I was all for Melanie. I didn't even look at Timothy Heller. I just believed everything that the fandom said. And more recently, since I'm not 15 years old anymore, and you guys would be like, well, you still act like it. Okay, I really don't care, but I know myself, my friends know myself, y'all who have talked to me privately know me, and I just want to be able to make informed decisions, and I don't feel entirely comfortable supporting someone such as Melanie, because you guys are going to say there's holes in both stories, Timothy's stuff has been debunked, whatever. I'm going to save it for the next video, but timelines of this video and certain things that have happened do override with that timeline, but I'm not going to be going into full detail. That's another deep dive video. Okay, so we're going to be looking at some things that fans have brought up to me in my lives, and some things that I personally have just been not addressing because I really love Melanie and her music. The first thing we're going to talk about is art and art theft. This one was actually brought up to my attention in my TikTok live. So when Melanie's debut album came out, the infamous Crybaby album with its iconic art, really seemed to be inspired by Melanie's tattoos, which she has said that is really inspired by 60s art, 60s toys. The art was done by CLoUT Tersigny. Sorry, I can't read. And she had done visual art for the album, including the coloring book that Melanie had sold. However, when the SA allegations did come out, CLoUT quickly removed herself from Melanie and cut ties with them. Like I said, the SA allegations will be a separate video, and we're going to be focusing on like more of the art stuff and tangible stuff than that. So please don't comment on that right now. And other material things pertaining to Melanie. So if you look on YouTube, there are some unreleased songs, which we'll get into later in this video, but there are some unreleased songs that do have this art. And I've always wondered, like, who made this art, you know? Like, I just assumed like it was Melanie's team and someone that they contracted. And after the allegations came out, Melanie continued to use CLoUT's art in her coloring books that she had printed and made merch with, and it was brought to my attention on TikTok Live that this may have been Melanie overriding a contract. Now with this instance, I will say that we personally do not know the contract that Melanie and CLoUT signed, so Melanie may have gotten all of the rights. My experience with this is my cover art album for Love Is Dumb. Shameless plug, go listen to it. But basically, me and the artist signed a contract, and him saying that I cannot alter it, I cannot make copies of it without his consent, blah blah blah, because it is his art and I'm buying it, and it gets into this weird territory. So with this instance, I did want to cover it because there's something that you guys brought up and I wanted to touch upon it. But I think with this one, we don't really know, because we don't know the contract between the both of them and Melanie's label. And plus, this was the beginning of Melanie's career. And I cannot really find anything about the situation besides some Reddit threads and some speculations and just people either just 100% siding with Melanie or just saying that CLoUT got her art stolen. But I can't confirm either of them, so I'm not gonna rule a verdict on that one, but it was an issue that was brought up to me. So now, some people called this instance with CLoUT art theft, but like I said, I can't really say for sure. But the next topic I feel like I can speak more about, because I do remember this, which was Melanie's NFTs. And so NFTs are something that I've always just kind of hated. It's always been a like dumb thing to me. And during the pandemic, if I'm I'm allowed to say that without like getting banned or anything. Melanie began to sell NFTs, and if everyone remembers the pandemic, NFTs were a big thing. Blockchain, it's just like business bro stuff. That's really gross to me. Anyways, these are the stories that she shared during this time when she was doing NFTs, and this was her addressing the NFTs. So she says, "Hi cuties, just want to be transparent about my NFTs coming out this week and give you all the info you need. Read through. These little creatures have been a huge inspiration for my art for years now. They hold deep sentimental value for me, and I know a lot of you collect them as well. I wanted to bring them to life in the digital world for you to enjoy. Digital ownership during this day and age of social media is something I care, given I have had the highest amount of hacked and leaked music and art on my label. I've witnessed people illegally profit off of my hard work time and time again. Creating digital art as NFT offers protection of this art that I find to be valuable. I, as well as many of you, have concerns about NFTs regarding their impact on the environment. This is why I made sure to partner with a company that works with Ariel, which is a sustainability platform that calculates the carbon emissions based on associated energy use. The carbon offsets on my NFTs are allocated to high-quality forest conservation projects verified by American Carbon Registry. I want to clarify that I will not be doing these NFTs without this partnership with Ariel. Royalties from streaming and digital consumption of music are so low and are not how most artists make music. Oh my god, artists and music make money. Primarily generate income from touring, and as you guys know, I haven't been able to tour because of COVID. We have forced to find other avenues to make a living and fund our art. I'm always putting my money I make back into my art to be able to share it with you guys. Creating is inherently a spiritual practice, but it is no question that we are living in a material world. As an artist, I desire both spiritual and material balance in my life, which would mean being able to create art and music that I'm deeply connected to, as well as support myself. As far as accessibility, you don't have to have crypto to be involved in my project. You can pay with credit card if you want to. The cost of stills are $222. When buying a still, you are automatically entering a chance to win an animation of that still that would solely belong to you. You can sell it if you wish and generate money off of it for yourself. It is your choice to participate or not, and regardless of your choice, I respect you and love you guys so much. Just wanted to give you more background info. So that was Melanie addressing, I guess, some of the concerns that people had and criticisms that people had of her selling NFTs. So one Reddit user says, very glad she partnered with a company that's trying to offset the environmental impact of NFTs, but something that is 60% harmful instead of 100% harmful is still, well, harmful. And someone else says, I hate how righteous she tries to make herself out to be. We get it, love and light. Everyone needs a bit of help now and then, not just financially. You don't have to pretend that this is a big thing for you personally. That's more dishonest and just saying outright that if I don't get the right amount of money from my label, there will be no rollout for the next album. Us fans would get it. We're not 9-year-olds. You probably know better than you what it's like to not make ends meet and how stressful and frustrating that is. Or you could just sell something we actually want. NFTs are the most useless things on the planet, but the easiest things to sell at the minute. Stop bullshitting and say, I just need funding for the project. I do want to touch upon this one part that this Reddit user has said. So this Reddit user says this is kind of hypocritical because she says she doesn't want people to profit off of her, yet her NFTs are just artwork of her vintage doll and figure collection, all of which were created and designed by other artists. A huge part of her aesthetic relies on what came from the past. Imagine that everyone who came before Melanie was just as guarded about their creation. Ultimately, I'm still a diehard fan and still support her, just not on this. If she needs funds so bad, there's a million different ways she could easily get it from fans. I used to sell anime crybaby stickers on Etsy, but had to stop because her lawyer said she was copyrighted, and it's like, okay, then make stuff like that. If you don't want to see fans selling things that are inspired by you, at the very least expand your shop so we have more merch options to buy. Someone replies, you hit all the points that bothered me. Making them NFTs won't stop people from saving and sharing, or even worse, reselling. And unless she can confirm the carbon offset, it's just words. She just needs to admit she needs money, but there's definitely other ways she could have raised money. So a Reddit user basically broke down what NFTs are, if you are still confused about what NFTs are. And honestly, I was still confused while reading this, but after this Reddit user explained it, it makes a lot more sense to me. It's a receipt. The receipt shows you bought this artwork. That's all it is. Anyone can make a copy of said artwork and keep it on their device. It doesn't mean you own the copyright either, which it delves into all of this really technical stuff. Like if you buy a DVD, you have the DVD in the receipt, but the DVD is an ownership of the copyright or materials. So I think that really makes sense, and when you put it that way, you can buy a DVD and that DVD will be yours, but you don't own the actual copyright to the content on the DVD. I hope that makes sense. I really think Melanie should have done something better, especially for the environment. I do find it very hypocritical for her to do this. When this came out, I did make a TikTok about this asking y'all what you thought, but I was still very heavily on the side of Melanie. I do agree with the Reddit user that you can still be a die-hard fan of Melanie, but just not support her on certain topics, and I feel like that's kind of the disconnect between a lot of Melanie fans, and a lot of Melanie fans have been asking me on TikTok, like, oh, why do you hate Melanie? I am just questioning things that I have been scared to question for the time being that I have been a Melanie fan, due to things like this of being just harassed for questioning these things. So I think with that being said, the problem with Melanie is that she didn't draw any of the characters, and she says herself that it is inspired by her vintage doll collection, which I think there's nothing wrong with that inherently, but I feel like her saying that her art has been stolen and this is the way to protect her art, but then the art is not even hers, so I'm having a hard time like understanding how this translates to her protecting her art, you know? And I do feel like a lot of us could agree that if she did make some sort of more tangible like thing, like a plushie or something that was like a vinyl doll or something, that a lot of people would appreciate that more than buying an NFT, because NFTs are just dumb. So I know I'm going kind of fast in this, but I don't want to drag this video on longer than it needs to be. The next thing we're going to come to is the Portals tour and the VIP packages. So this kind of ties in with the toxicity of the fans, which I will save that for the end. So we're going to talk about the merch and VIP packages. So I bought the pre-sale merch the day it came out, and I didn't get my package until like 2 months later, and I even sent like an email asking, oh, can I get a refund because I haven't gotten my package yet, and it said it would take like 2 to 6 weeks. So I was really disappointed in that, but I ended up getting it, and that led to a whole nother drama on TikTok with that. A lot of people are saying that they still haven't received their merch. They're saying that CLoUT Boy is on the vinyl, so there's a manufacturing error. We're gonna talk about the $400 VIP packages. So before y'all get your panties in a bunch, I am aware that there are resellers. Resellers are just leeches in the music consumption world, because obviously they know people are diehard fans of Melanie, of Taylor Swift, Lana, insert your favorite music celebrity here, and they will do everything they can to gouge you because they know that you will pay for it. So before you say those things, I have said it for you. I understand there are resellers. I understand that Melanie needs to make money. That is fine and that is okay. But when she is selling $400 VIP packages and her description is as reads, you can pause if you want to read it. It was purposely vague in the sense like that could really mean anything, and a lot of people have defended Melanie in saying that, well, you bought it. Yes, people have bought it, and also you can do whatever you want with your money. It doesn't really concern me. I really don't give a fuck what you do with your money. It's none of my concern. But I will say that from an artist standpoint, I feel like you can charge $400 as a music artist, especially as someone as big as Melanie. You can charge $400. The problem is the contents within this is the problem. She had a hologram that was powered by AI, an AI hologram. People love to argue in the comments with me that it's AR. It says AI powered hologram, and the pictures of these are just so embarrassing. They literally couldn't take out the mouse in the pictures, and you paid $400 for this, and they could at least put the mouse out of the pictures. Also, the people that are taking pictures with Melanie, this hologram, Melanie's in the same pose basically the same time, and the people are in cold light while Melanie is in warm, so it looks very weird and not professional. So I think that obviously people are gonna have their opinions about it. If you think that's worth $400, it is your money, do what you want. But I do think that the criticism with the Portals package and VIP packages are deserving. It is also brought to my attention on my live that only radio contestant winners got to see Melanie, but I will play devil's advocate, in which Melanie is valid and has the right to protect themselves, because when they did do a meet and greet with the whole Portals thing when it was first coming out, they did get sick at a meet and greet. So I can understand like why they would want to do a virtual one to not spread sickness and stuff like that. But I do feel like it could have at least been like $200 if you're gonna be with an AI, and even that seems like a lot of money to me. But again, you do you with whatever you want to do with your money. The merch stuff is also, I feel like she hasn't really taken accountability, and before you start throwing your tantrums about it's not her fault, it is her team's fault, I want to bring you attention to your favorite person ever, Oliver Tree, and how you guys said that it is his fault that he did the picture of disrespecting the K-pop idol. When I have repeatedly said time and time again, it is not Oliver's fault, it was his team's fault. Y'all don't buy that. Y'all don't want to buy that. Y'all are gonna put all the blame on Oliver. Okay then. I'm gonna put all the blame on Melanie because y'all want to play it that way, then let's play it that way. Don't have these double standards. Either you believe that the team is responsible for something or not. They're both on the same label, mind you, and Atlantic Records is a very problematic label in itself, in which Oliver Tree always talks about how the label really forces them to, like, you have to have this many followers to release an album and blah 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 blah, and you have to really follow the rules, and in which why Melanie for K-12 also had stated that she needed funding for the album and had to cut some funding, blah blah blah, to have this album. She had a budget, etc. And the label, it can be really hard to work with. We do not know the contract that Melanie signed with Atlantic Records, so there is also that. We don't know what the PR situation is like. We do not know what her social media team is like. We don't know about anything of her team, what it is like, but from what it is shown, our Melanie needs to really get their shit together, because this is not okay for merch to be out like this and no one is taking accountability for it. And I've said Melanie needs to take accountability for it because she is the face of her brand. She's the face of her brand. Oliver Tree apologized because he is the face of his brand. Despite it being his team's fault, he still had to take accountability for it and apologize for it. I just want to call out the double standard between these two artists who are on the same label, and you guys countlessly just slander, harass anyone that disagrees with you, and I'm not here for it. I'm not here for it, and I know a lot of you guys aren't here for it either, but it can be very scary speaking out about these things. So the more of us speak out about this, I feel like the better that it will get. And that brings me to the last topic, which is the toxicity of her fans. A lot of people have been reporting that fans have been body shamed with their outfits for portals. Fans are biting each other, and this is why I say that Melanie Martinez fans are rabid and feral, because they actually do bite each other. There has been racism that have been occurring on a life that's, and I'm not just talking about me, I've seen it happen to other people. Doxing, swatting, raiding Oliver Tree's TikTok account. And I did, the previous video before this is probably going to be me addressing Melanie's statement that she made on her story. And a lot of people are, again, mad at me on TikTok because I'm like, she needs to directly address this. She doesn't hardly ever address anything. Besides what we saw with the NFT, she addressed that directly. But this whole situation, she could have at least addressed Oliver's thing. She chose not to. She chose not to say, do not spread hate to Oliver Tree's account. And I'm sure that her managers, her team have been in communications with Oliver's, because again, they're on the same label. And I think that that's, I don't think there's really any excuse for that. She cannot control what her fans do. I understand that. However, the least she can do is directly address it. And then after that, I'll be like, okay, she can't control what her fans do. But the fact she won't even address directly what her fans are doing, I am 100% sure she's seen it. She liked my Fairy Soiree video, but she couldn't see the other videos that I've tagged her in. I tagged her in the Fairy Soiree video. I tagged her in all the other bullying videos, but she chose to like the Fairy Soiree. I understand she's on tour, she's doing music videos, blah blah blah. Just say it's not important. Just say it's not important to you, because I don't blame her getting that coin, but some of us have been affected by this. And even if you say she doesn't know what's going on, because she probably doesn't, I'm damn well sure she knows what's going on with Oliver Tree. She could have at least addressed that. If she at least addressed Oliver Tree, at least it'd be like, okay, at least she's telling them directly, do not do that. And no matter how hard she tries to tame her fan base, I think she still plays off of that ferality that her fans have, knowing that they will go to bat for her no matter what and not hold her accountable for anything. That goes with saying that her fans also kind of like like are low-key abusive to her as well, in which they do and have released her unleaked songs, which is something that we're gonna close off with because this does tie in with the toxicity of her fans to show that they don't respect her and whatever. But I find it very hard to believe that people just email her team. First, how did you get said email of her producers and team? And second of all, I'm pretty sure they'll know who is it and who is Melanie Martinez. Like, I get the Dropbox thing because I haven't experienced like theft. Obviously no one cares about me, but I do agree that producers do upload it to Dropbox, and that's just kind of the easiest way to get it from producer to distributor, blah blah blah. So I do see that, but saying that she has the most leaked songs when Charlie XCX is on the label and literally got the whole Google Drive album art leaked, I do find it kind of tone deaf to the other artists who do face leaked songs. She is not the only artist in the world that's faced leaked songs, so I just think that's kind of weird, and how she was using that as way to be like, well, that's where I need NFTs. I just find the whole thing very dishonest and disingenuous, and above the whole thing, very disappointing. That's pretty much all I have for this video. I will be linking some stuff in the Google Doc if you guys do want to see where I'm getting this from. And before you leave a nasty comment, it will be deleted. I will not entertain it on YouTube. We can argue on TikTok or whatever, but I am not having YouTube just be for you guys to spew everything. Again, like Melanie said in her Instagram post, which you guys will never comprehend or even get into your brains, to not spread hate and bullying, but you guys are still going to do it under this video. I think it just really proves my point that you guys don't really think about things before you say it and realize that people behind the screen are actually people, and also the unhealthy parasocial toxic relationship you guys have with Melanie, because she is not perfect. Her teacher's problematic, everyone is problematic, because guess what, we're all people and we're all human. So I think it's really immature to say that Melanie is unproblematic. Okay, so that is the end of today's video. I'm really nervous posting this, but I'm gonna post it anyway because it's important to talk about. Like and subscribe, or don't. Send me hate comments, or don't. Please don't. But I will see you guys next video, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Kiss me while you got red cheeks and her. When you try so hard to be different, so